We're just about set here to start racing. If you're on the stream right now, thanks for joining us online. If you're in person, thank you even more for making the trip out here to King County Parks, Marymore Park, beautiful backyard here in Redmond. We're so excited to be starting some racing here in just a moment. We're hoping for a high watch count tonight because we also got a lot of our racers, 25 of them actually out of town, competing over in Trexlertown, we call it T-Town, here in the racing community. Pennsylvania, the national track racing going on for the United States is for the elites, the juniors, and the para competitors right now. All going on right now. We've got a lot of results to share already from the first 2 days of racing that's occurred over there. So I'll be giving some updates during tonight's program to celebrate what's been going on there. We've closed registration for racing a long time ago. Unless you're a Kiddie Kilo rider, if you're going to join us for the Kiddie Kilo, you can still get signed up because we've got an opportunity for the little ones to get out here on the track tonight and have some fun. And I can't stress it enough how excited we are to finally have our beverage garden back open so we have the full Friday night experience. We're basically back in full functioning here. We are ready to get started, so I'm going to turn down the music and we're inviting our infield for a quick athlete meeting, please. Rider meeting on the infield. Thank you. All right, folks, we just finished some infield announcements there, so we're keeping it quiet on my end, but we are ready to start our first race. Welcome to Friday Night Racing here at the track. Thank you again for joining us, whether you're here in person or checking us out online. Our first group is just starting to roll up to the rail. If you're online, you can see the schedule there alongside the current view. Don't forget, if you're here and you want to see the schedule in person, head to velodrome.org/live, where you can also find the link for the live stream and help us out by sharing it with friends and family to let them know where you are and what you're watching. You can share it with folks anywhere. So check it out online. Our first group about ready to get started here from the rail. All right, so this first group that's out on the track right now, we do have some small numbers this week because, well, first of all, it's worth pointing out we've got a lot of competitors out of town this week. I mentioned it a little bit there right at the end of our warm-ups. Elites, juniors, and para-nationals in the U.S. is going on right now in T-Town. We'll be talking about during this race some of the podiums over the first 2 days of racing from our region. About ready to get started in this first race for the Cat 4s. And there's that whistle. Our crew tonight's going to be going out for a scratch race. It's going to be relatively short and fast here for this crew. As again, with less riders, we'll keep the laps a little bit shorter, get this thing rolling along for them. A scratch race is about as straightforward of a format as we can get out here on the track. The riders get a certain number of laps, and at the end of it, there's a bell that says 1 to go. First rider across the line is the winner, as is all the other places found there on that final lap. So this is a mass start race in which oftentimes what comes down, especially in a shorter distance like this, only 8 laps, 2 miles of racing, it's going to often be a sprinter's game. And I do see a lot of riders out here tonight that are just fine sitting on a pace like this and saving their efforts for a big finish, which gives me the fantastic opportunity to do some of the talking I was going to do early on tonight while these guys are out here counting down some laps together cooperatively. See if I can pull up these results from our first couple of days of racing. So again, we have competitors that are out of town right now, and they're having a great time over in Trexlertown, T-Town, out in Pennsylvania. I hope a lot of them are out there right now watching and on the stream right now. Today we had some nice results. So willing to share a couple of podiums actually from riders in our area. In the women's Kieran, 15 through 18-year-olds, McKenna got a second place, a silver medal for her efforts in the Kieran today. And Kelly Darlene, one of our junior competitors on the team, also picked up a second place silver in the scratch race. So that's pretty exciting. So 2 silver medals today from our competitors that are over there right now. As we look out at the field right now where things are, it's riders taking their turns, keeping it at an okay pace. The first 2 laps were pretty cruising. Now they're starting to push it a little bit more, setting things up. And just, again, the idea right now is there's not a lot of competition between the riders except for the setup that'll happen at the end of the race. So riders now are kind of in that, let's get closer to that point, and then likely things will start to heat up in the final 2 laps. It's a good time now if you're hearing me talk about the racing. You're outside of the velodrome. Come on in and join us. We've got the food truck open, the beverage garden is pouring, and we got great racing scheduled for this evening, especially if you've got a young rider with you. You've got already the small bike, you got the push bike, you got the tricycle, the training wheels, whatever it is. We've got a fun race tonight, and we're still taking riders to register for it. The Kiddie Kilo is free for the young riders to come out here and give a shot on the track. They get a fun lap. You get out your camera. Everybody cheers. It's a good time. Come join us for Friday Night Racing here in the velodrome. Things starting to heat up a little bit here on the track, though. Somebody's cheering for Arnoldi there. The rider in purple's moving along. Tyler Arnoldi is thinking maybe it's about time to accelerate things a bit here. This causing the field to feel a little bit of pressure and riders forced to respond now. So Arnoldi on a nice effort now. That's Peter Gilchrist in the white helmet for the Jerry Baker Juniors team. Stanley Douglas is the rider in blue, right on his wheel. So Arnoldi's efforts, not able to snap every rider from him. He realizes he's got a crew with him, though. As soon as he sits up, the other two say, yeah, we're not doing too much effort. We're waiting for the sprint now. If you want to keep going, we'll get back on your wheel, though. And that's exactly what Arnoldi does. He says, okay, I can set some pace and try to make it hard for you, so hold on. Gilchrist doing a nice job being persistent and holding on to the wheel no matter what Tyler does here. Again, it's Stanley Douglas on his wheel. James Campbell Harris in the white and black has nearly made the gap himself, but he's having a hard time finishing that bridge, as it will be 3 riders as our lead group as the bell's now ringing. It's Arnoldi on the front. 2 riders in blue ready to make their move around the right-hand side. It's going to be an awfully hard finish for Tyler now, as Stanley Douglas loves the 400-meter effort. When will he start his attack around the right side? Coming down the back straight, both riders sort of holding on to their full efforts. In fact, Peter will slide up into the wheel of Stanley, hoping he can use his wheel to accelerate. A nice move by the junior. He'll get into his slipstream and hope that he can come around the right-hand side. And it looks like he will have enough of the finishing kick to accelerate over the right and come into the home straight. It will be our Jerry Baker Jr. rider, just out edging the Stanley Douglas there on that sprint. Nicely done from Peter. Cat 4 men will exit on the lap. Cat 3 men, it's time for you to come to the rail. On deck, the Cat 1-2 men are up after this. All right, Cat 3 men are going on their scratch race. Now, interestingly enough, when you have a schedule like ours tonight with a wheel race in it, this race serves as a sort of a qualifier in some regards, because it's going to be used tonight to help seed our riders for the upcoming race. So the wheel race, their second race, will be based on their finishing order from this race. So that will be an interesting thing to watch. Right now, though, we're focused on a scratch race. 10 laps for the Cat 3 men. At the end of it all, again, that bell at 1 to go, and we'll see who our winner is. Kiddie Kilo competitors, you got a couple more races before you're up. You'll be right after the crawl, which will be right after the last scratch. So we've got a few more races to go, but don't head off too far. Make sure you got your numbers on and you signed your waivers and you're all signed up. If you want to join us tonight, you can still go over and get signed up between the grandstands before that race begins. And the sound of the whistle, we're off and away. All right, clicking along nicely here, our lineup of riders. If you're on the stream, you're getting a nice view from Peter Snowblin's bike. He's the rider in white, black, and a little bit of yellow. Third rider in that lineup right now. I figure putting on the back of his bike is a pretty good idea, since Snowby is known to make the effort from the front quite often, as he likes to drive the train in this Cat 3 field. Try to break them with his endurance. And with a small crew, he might be able to do some work tonight on that. We'll see. As the field lined up directly behind him, 3 riders for the Broadmark Realty Capital team, the white and blue, as that looks to be Hyun Lee right on his wheel, staring him down. 2 riders actually from that team I would favor very highly if this stays in as a bunch sprint, including Hyun with a quick turn of speed on a sprint effort. As I see Brad Gunning in there, he's a couple riders back in the black helmet. 2 quick laps already down. Austin Hillsbreath is the rider in blue. He's also been a very, I'd say, formidable rider in this field in the early parts of the season. So number 320 has had a lot of top 3 finishes in group sprints. So he'll be a rider to watch as we get to the end of this thing, I would imagine. As his effort ends, riders kind of fan out a little bit, looking for a wheel to get behind. They still have a couple more laps of effort before they're into that sprinting mindset. There's still opportunities for riders to put on an effort on the field. This is such a short race, though, that these sort of breakaway efforts are very difficult to establish because most of the riders can they can muster up the energy to go catch something when they know the race isn't too long. At 6 laps remaining, we only have about 1.5 miles of distance left to cover. So someone in corner 1 or 2 knows how to cheer. For the most part, this is a very polite crowd tonight. I thought with the beverage garden, things might change. Not yet. Now seeing 5 as Snowby's back on the front, number 303. He'll pull up to the right-hand side. Everybody's just clicking along in a pretty consistent effort now. Nobody seems to be trying to make things too hard. Just keeping it at a nice, smooth, and consistent pace at this point in the racing. Worth mentioning on this, the first day of racing, we also had some results that I need to get through, but I see one of our riders that got some efforts at, got some acclaim for his efforts at Nationals. One of our elite competitors, Andrew Karlberg, managed to find a 2nd place, a silver medal in the elite men for his kilo effort yesterday. So a 2nd place for Andrew Karlberg in the kilo, the kilometer effort. So congratulations to him. He's given a wave on the YouTube. Says, again, I would suspect many of our Pennsylvania folks are tuning in to see how a Friday night looks without them here. Perhaps, yeah, I was going to say it's 10 o'clock in Pennsylvania, so maybe they're tuning in for my dulcet tones, my relaxing evening voice to help them go to rest after a long day of racing and effort at the track. I've got to turn on the NPR voice instead of the racer commentator voice. How's that? We're going to be seeing 2 to go, and the field staying together throughout the race so far. You're going to see riders now doing what they often do right before someone does an effort. They go wide and say, who's going to go next? Audi Racing sending one out. 336 is Ryan Meinhardt, looking like he's ready to make something happen. Whoa, he is away. He wants this thing to be a 2-lap sprint. Meinhardt able to spin nicely here ahead of the rest of the field, and nobody wants to sprint that long. So they gave him enough time, enough girth now. It's going to be a big chase as Hyun Lee says, uh-oh, this got a little bit away from me. 1 to go as Meinhardt wants to pick up some more points tonight here in the Cat 3 field. He's moving. Peter Snoblin in a good position to try to chase off the leader, but right now we have our eyes on the Audi racer who continues on a nice move here. He's got plenty of distance on the rest of this field, and I do not see how anyone from that group is racing for first anymore. The sprint for second will be interesting, but we'll continue to watch as our leader coming out of turn 4 onto the home straight as Ryan Meinhardt will be our victor. Austin Hillsbreath, I called him out a bit earlier, does a nice job maneuvering through the field and comes out in front. Hyun Lee will find 3rd place. Meinhardt with the early attack. Successful, pays off nicely. Cat 1-2 men to the rail, please. Excellent. We've got just a couple more races here before the crawl, and immediately after the Marymore crawl will be indeed the Kiddie Kilos. So stay tuned for that. No line in the beverage garden. Come support the Marymore Veldrum Association for the first time in 2021 by grabbing a drink in the beautiful Stanley Cups You do not want to miss the opportunity to, enjoy Friday night and support a nonprofit. Come on, that's a good deal. That's right. We've got Stanley, a local company here in Seattle that, the good old green thermos that when you think of like the old thermos that kept your soup hot forever. That same company's still around and they're making great products. You can pick up all sorts of different things, including mugs. We've got pint glasses. They've got ways to get you out on the camping trip and keep your stuff cold, keep your stuff hot. Today we've got, for the first time, our very own special selection of 16-ounce, our pint glasses with our logo on them. Thanks to Stanley for helping set us up with those. We're going zero waste in the beverage garden. Also, thanks to Post Stop Brewing for helping clean those. We need some dishwashing help after a Friday night. All right, and off we go. Cat 1-2 men. Scratch race, 12 laps. Christian Miller, number 5. Moves swiftly into the front to start things off. Our largest field tonight, least impacted by the absences, I'll say. This one will look most familiar to a normal Friday night as it's a decent-sized field, missing a few of our leads for sure, who are out and competing. All right, so the single file formation is really moving along here as riders are taking their turns at the front. You'll see this a lot tonight. If you haven't watched a lot of track racing before, this rider at the front, they'll take this short effort, about 200 meters on our track is pretty normal, so a half lap, and they go flying up the right up the hill. And that's like a natural way to brake because these guys don't have brakes. They have to backpedal. So instead of backpedaling, use the hill. It'll slow you down for you, and then when you're ready to accelerate, you just turn left and come back down into the lineup. It's a very clever use of physics, right? It's very smooth if you know how to use the banking to help you move in position in the field, which is also why the slow lane is always to the right, because then you can use the hill to re-accelerate yourself down into the shorter lane on the left when it's time to sprint. Chris Wilson, the rider for Found Cycling with that white helmet, pulls up to the right-hand side as he's the next one to kind of reinvigorate things down the back straight, but as he abandons, Haldeman comes to the front as Haldy's going to put on an effort now. Number 34. Found Cycling did some real damage last week with a couple riders in the dark green, really coming out here and collecting big. One of those, Dave Richter, just took a very short effort there at the front. You're going to want to keep your eyes on him as he had a very successful evening last week. Dark green with a black helmet midfield. Vern Cole to drive the pace for Liquid Velo at 8 to go. That's Chris Wilson again coming to the front. This is one of those riders that has definitely some strength from the road that he brings here to the track and is able to go the distance. If he is given the opportunity, he'll just keep spinning. So as he finds the front, he has no problem moving the pedals and keeping things fast. Here's another rider that doesn't mind that effort as Andy Baker will take the front now, and he continues to put a little bit of power behind his bike at 7 to go. Relatively speaking, this is still pretty quick, and you can tell based on the way the riders are positioning themselves, nobody wants to be out in the wind. Everybody's trying to get on a wheel, and if you're not in a wheel, you're going to be hurting. Newly joining the field is John Levi, who's going to actually be serving as our action camera view tonight in this group. Cat 3's your start order for the wheel race is up on the live results, velodrome.org/live, so that you know where the order is for the wheel race. Cat 3 men. Results from the first race are up. That is the start order for your second race is posted. Velodrome.org/live for the results. All right. Attacks been mostly covered here, a little bit of surge and pull and push from the field, but it's basically all staying together. Ludamax is looking around saying, hey, I got a little bit of running room. Is anybody else gonna make an effort? Matty Hers will join in. He's been a big factor in the early part of this season. Looking to maybe reestablish himself here, number 15 off the front with a group of 4. Looking around for some assistance. This has caused a very strong snap here in the field as we kind of got 2 parts. On the stream, you can barely see that break there as Jonathan Levi is in the back half of it, and there's a decent gap between him and the field. He'll try to do some work to bring that chasing group up. That distance is just about 40 meters or so, even a little bit less than that now, as he's probably closer to 25 meters and closing. So hopefully this race will stay exciting, and with more riders in it, he's just going to try to bring a couple back into it, including Christian Miller in the white. Nolan Adams immediately behind him will bring a couple riders too. 3 to go, 3 to go. Chris Wilson's number 39. I mentioned he just doesn't mind spinning. He's at the front and will keep it going. Looks like he knows it's that time of the race, though. You've got to be in the right position, so he's going to try to fall into the formation a little bit and find his place. So scratch racing in a field like this, be at the front, have your lane, know your wheel, who you're going to follow. It's all about those positions. It's about who's going to make the big efforts and who do you want to follow to try to be able to snatch it at the line, which is going to often be, in a race like this, a group sprint. Baker at the front, number 4. There we go. The home straights get into it now, too. On nights like this, I just like to think that we're just getting warmed up for the Kiddie Kilo, and then we'll all cheer. That's usually how it works. And then it's not really a warm-up because then we stop after. But that's okay. Well, maybe tonight will be different. I don't know. The bell's ringing. Here we go. It's 1 to go. Come on, folks. Chris Wilson on the lead position. It's going to be number 17. It's the Rocket, ready to make his big move. John Levi also at the front there, the rider in the black with a good position. Matty Hers giving up and out of the saddle. He'll make his attack down the back straight, trying to surprise the Found Cycling riders. Andy Baker's coming downhill as well. It's going to be Matty Hers in a really good position. He's getting away from the field now. All the way back from turn 2. He's got a couple bike legs. He's running with it. Matty Hers looking smooth. Richter, oh, and a sprint for 3rd. Too close to call. I think maybe Dyna Racing might have found it. The rider in the pink came flying in as Nolan Adams might have grabbed it. The speed from Matty Herzo on that. The acceleration down the back straight just uncovered. Nobody could match it. Our women competitors now to the rail, please. Women competitors to the rail. Up after this, the crawl. All right, the women are racing 10 laps in a scratch race, and by now I don't think I need to explain the format to y'all. You guys are experts in this now. This is the neutral, so again, just making sure everybody's got a nice, fair start. No disadvantage to any rider because they're out of position. And then we start them out of turn 4 with the whistle. Up next is the open Marymore crawl. All competitors, we're going to be bringing it up into turn 4. If you want to join on that, that's open. All riders that want to be in the crawl, that's coming up next. Immediately following that is the Kiddie Kilo. So when the crawl is going on, we're going to be staging the young riders. If you are a little Kiddie Kilo rider, you're going to be more to the front. The older you go, the further back you'll be, because we're going to be breaking it up by age group and size of rider so that it's a little bit more well matched. Also, if you're really close to the gate, you might want to start backing up because we actually have to swing that open. So leaving that space open after this race would be awesome. You don't have to do it right now, but just be aware. All right. There's the whistle. The women are away. It's 10 laps. Scratch racing for the women. There you go. Now the home crowd's figuring it out. So the thing is I can't tell folks in Pennsylvania that our crowds are better if you're not. You have to be like, we like to brag about our home crowd being very, very supportive and the environment here being really fun and engaging. And athletes always talk about when they come and visit us that we have the best crowds here in Redmond because, you know, it's the bike capital of the state, of the country. I mean, come on. We have fun here with our bike racing. Here come the women. It's their first lap coming around as Bryn Ward's going to be taking the pace this time. So I haven't done a lot of promo on this one, so I'll point this out to folks now as there's probably some new faces around. If you want to try to get in on this thing, you're looking at this going like, this must be like an exclusive club. You know, it's like the yacht club thing or something, or being part of a, no, not at all. In fact, this is a very open community. All you need to do is take some classes and all of a sudden you'll be out here racing on a Monday night, maybe a Wednesday night, eventually a Friday night within no time, as long as you're willing to put in some weeks and have some fun out here and learn the sport. We pride ourselves on being a place of education. So if you want to take a class, we've got you and the hookup for you online. 8 to go for the women. The easiest way to get involved out here and to try a little bit of fun on a track bike is to sign up for a Try the Track class. $10 for an adult, and it's free for the kids. It's just an hour, but in that hour, we'll get you fitted on the bike real quick and get you out here, help you kind of get comfortable with the mechanics of a fixed gear bike, the direct drive system, get you feeling safe, being able to maneuver around on the hills here. By the way, this is a very gentle bank here. This is a great track to learn on. Very, very friendly for new riders. So come take a try with it. Try the track classes online at veldrum.org. 7 to go. 7 to go. Hey, I got to mention Dennis Crane is over there on the home straight taking some phenomenal photos. I know lots of people come out here to take pictures, but Dennis is the man when it comes to getting the shots for this evening. And if you didn't get the best picture of your kid during the Kiddie Kilo, I got to point you towards dbcphoto.com afterwards because there's probably going to be some pretty cool ones there to check out. Again, that's dbcphoto.com to be able to get some photos from tonight's racing. Support Dennis and his great work. Thanks for DBC Photo for being a partner with us here in 2021. Bryn Ward once again at the front. 6 to go. But that's Becca Book going to make a move here in the middle of the race. Noticing that the pace is not to her liking, it's time to make a move. The national colors on Annette Williams is going to match pace. It's nationals for some riders right now in Pennsylvania, but Annette's got the colors on right now. She says, let's go. Number 102 and 104, making it fast. Becca Book swings up, and Annette Williams looks like she's willing to keep it going, so Becca will match that effort. This break of 3 has been threatening this field and splitting things apart a bit. The third rider to join in, Catherine Wade-Easley, certainly makes it a problem if riders don't catch on. That group would get away. They recognize that maybe their effort is done. They've got a couple riders in the chase that are trying to bring it back up. At 3 to go. Most of our field back together again. 104, Becca swings to the right. One thing you can read from the body language of a couple of these riders is that they acknowledge that Becca's very fast right now, and they're watching her. She made the most recent move, so now she's got the target on her back a little bit. It's like, okay, what's the next move going to be? So there's some riders definitely marking that wheel a bit now as they maneuver around the track and they follow her pace. Whatever pace she goes, they're willing to ride it right now. There's not a lot of laps left. We're coming into 2 to go now. Becca still on the front. Annette Williams on the wheel. Wade easily in a very good spot too at 2 to go. Things moving along here because we're coming into the bell lap. Got a good look at it coming onto the home straight. It's going to be Becca Book leading it out. She feels like she can win it from the front. Annette Williams right there. She's been glued to the wheel. What's she going to do with that position? Down the back straight, we've got 4 riders. We might be able to get a look from Heather Nielsen as well if you're on the stream to get a look at this sprint lining things up. And she's going to be able to try to follow the wheel of Wade Easley, who makes the move out the right-hand side. You see she's trying to accelerate around the outside edge. Now coming along side by side is Annette Williams. She's going to just be able to pop right off the front, taking the colors right to the finish line. Annette Williams, Wade Easley. Both Nielsen and Book finishing well in this race. Nice job to all of our women competitors. A couple more finishing up. Nicely done. All right, we are going to be organizing the Kiddie Kilo. Yes, nice racing. Thank you. Well, you guys are good. This home crowd's figuring it out. I just had to josh you a little bit. Or maybe you're all putting orders over in at Jessica's Unique Bites, which, by the way, if you haven't done so yet, now would be a great time to go grab a delicious burger, smothered in great flavor. The best fries out of a food truck in the PNW. If you're a racer, though, you can't do that. It's time for the crawl. We're going to get you up to the rail. If you can go ahead and head up there. How about behind Andy Baker? How's that? Is that going to work? Marymore Crawl open to all competitors to join us over in turn 4. All right, we'll talk about this as soon as the race gets started, because believe me, if you've not seen it before, there's plenty of time to talk about the race before the speed part of it happens. Kiddie Kilos, youngins towards the front, but you need to back up from the gate, so everybody should back up and leave some room. We got to open the gate up. The big bikes will be more towards the back. So give lots of room, and we'll get you out here shortly. That's going to be right after this next race. The crawl is coming up now. Last call here. The crawl's about ready to start. All right, so if you've not watched the crawl before, it's called the Marymore Crawl because, well, we made it. It's the race that we invented a while back. It belongs to our community. We invented this strange and unique slow race. The idea is that these riders that have signed up to race today cannot pass the finish line. They can't set a foot down. They can't get off their bike. They can't lean on anybody until that bell rings. If they leave the racing surface or use any sort of assistance to stay upright, they are eliminated. If they can make it till the bell rings, then they are in for a one-lap sprint. All-out speed for one lap around the track. Prizes at the line go too deep, so riders that stay in do have a cash motivation as well to try to pick it up here. Oh, there's cash hanging at the rail. It's been a while. It's been a while. Cash at the rail, come get it. The further along, if you got big bills, you have to come down to the finish line and really make them work for it. If you got like a oneser or a fiver, you know, you can go somewhere in the middle. That's cool. All right, we got Haldy up here along the rail. Andy Baker's awfully close to the finish line, but he's still got lots of running room. Oh, no. I talked about him. He got nervous. Single Malville throwing up their hands. No, not able to make it. I swear, this was like 2 weeks ago. I felt like I was talking about this race or the state of the race for like 5, 6, 7 minutes. It felt forever. It was an eternity. There was only 2 people out here that really know how long this is going to go for. One's got their hand on the bell already. The other one's one of our officials. Oh, Andy Baker. Number 4 makes his exit from the front. We still have 4 in this race, including a rep from the junior team. The juniors always have to have a rep in this race. Peter Gilchrist doing the work today to make sure that there's a junior in the crawl. He says, I see you guys. I got this. They're cheering on for you. I'm sure they are, although it's past their bedtime. Look at this lineup right at the front, like statues, using the back pressure to keep themselves upright. Man, when's this move going to happen? Still waiting for the sound of the bell. Wow, this is looking, no one wants to take a move up towards the line at all. They got lots of running room here. Brett Seahorn on the outside, holding on. Maddie Hers, our winner from the Cat 1-2 race just a moment ago, is back out here, wants to do another. There we go, it's 1 to go, 1 to go. 4 riders in. Uh-oh, it seized up. Down the back straight, our sprint is underway. It looks like Maddie Hers at the front still. Oh, big jump here from Minard, the rider in red. The junior says, I don't have those gears. Come on, guys. Whoa, it's going to be a 2-up sprint for the money. Who wants the big cash? It's going to be on the inside. Whoa! Maddie Hers is just enough. Yeah. Nice job to Peter as well for making it through 3rd on that race. Nicely done. Kiddie Kilos are coming up. I think we got someone down there that's going to be kind of ensuring that the right groups are coming out onto the track. So I'll sort of talk about it as they come up. But here we go, folks. This is what you've been waiting for. This is where all the stomps, the clapping, the cheering, the hoot, and the hollering is supposed to happen, is when the young riders come by. We really pride ourselves here at the Jerry Baker Memorial Velodrome as being a place of education and community, not just sport and competition. So we do this every other Friday. It's really the 1st and 3rd Friday of the month, in case it was the 5th, just to cover our butts on that one. But the 1st and 3rd Friday throughout the summer months, you can come out here and the kids get a free lap around the track. Looks like these guys are going to come down to the cement. Yep, there you go. To the right, to the right. Don't go up to the hill. They're so excited. We might need some people on the infield that know a thing or two about this race to jump up and maybe point some fingers about where to go and direct traffic. That would be fantastic. All right, very good. Well, maybe we'll try to help our next crew find their start place. Go all the way through here, all the way down the home straight. Keep it going. Nice work. All the way across. Keep it going, keep it going. Keep going, keep going. Ah, the memories. They'll remember this for about 8 seconds. But the cameras will remember it forever. Yeah. Nice job. R2-D2 made us showing too. No, that's not R2-D2. I'm going to get in trouble for this. That's the other one. I'm so sorry. That kid's never coming back now. And the next group here coming onto the track now. The bikes are getting bigger. I think this group's going to go for a whole lap. Yeah, we're going to get you started back there on those little lines on the cement. You can see that little line there. Nobody should be in front of that. Let's get y'all behind that line. Perfect. Nicely done. So these kids are going to go all the way around the track. This is a big group. Oh, man, look at all these guys. Wow. Remember, stay on the black part, the dark gray part down there. No hill explorers today. You can go on a hike later. Mom and Dad can take you up a hill somewhere else. Is this our largest field tonight? Here they go. One to go, one to go, one to go. Wow, look at this. Nice, stay down, there you go. Stay in the black part, stay to the left, there you go. Nice job, stay in there, perfect. Thanks to our volunteers for helping make this happen. Go, go, go. You got this. "17 starters. Is that more than the Cat 1-2s? Woo, the kids showing up big tonight. Yes, the sport is looking good today. On the back of the shoulders of the youngest riders here. We'll be sure as they come into view of the beverage garden to make lots of noise for the young riders as they come by you. Once they're of age, we hope to also have them back for a junior class and get them out here again for some more racing. It's an awful lot of fun. The juniors are tuning in and watching the form. Oh yeah, here comes our first finishers. Woohoo! Yeah, girl power indeed. That's a great shirt. Whoa, the sprint is on. I think that would add a lot of drag, but I think instead that just added more speed, all that fancy stuff on the handlebars there. That's awesome. Look at this, like a peloton coming through. The green jersey just finished up ahead of them. Here comes the rest of the riders. They're just all trying to make the time cut. Nice work. Go, 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 all to the grass. Keep going, all the way to the grass. Keep going. All the way to the grass. Keep going. Yep, all the way. Nice job. Keep going. Nice work. Nice. All the way. Keep going. Got a couple more coming through. Nice job. Excellent. All right, no bonus laps, kids. I see you back there. Couple more finishers, so we're going to make sure everybody gets around the track before we bring on our next group, just to keep everybody safe. The smallest deserve the most help because they're working harder than anybody else out here, let me tell you. Here we go, all the way. Nice job. I can do this for a little bit. Doesn't be now. Just, it's ready? Okay. Nice riding. Keep it going. Nice work. Whoa. Good use of the brakes. Keep going. A little further. Oh, the bonus laps. Yes. Gotta love the bonus lap. All right. I think we got the big crew coming out next. Is this like another massive field? Wow. So all of our racers go to nationals and all the parents are like, ha ha, time to take over the track. Bring the kids out. It's awesome. Don't forget, summers, we do offer week-long camps. Camp Velo. Limited spots available. We're very much running out of spaces this summer. If there are any left, actually, I haven't recently checked the quantities on those camps left, but that's a week-long camp to get young riders ready. Ages 9 through 16 is sort of the suggested age group. Those signups happen especially during the spring months when we get them up there is when you want to get signed up for that week-long course. And then by the end of it, juniors are invited to come back out here and start racing every week on Mondays, which is how we start feeding our young riders that come up and continue to build this community and keep our athletes on their toes as we bring in the young whippersnappers to keep things interesting. Off they go. It's 1 to go. Whoa, quick start. Nice. Everybody's getting 1 to go. 1 to go. Whoa. Everybody down in the, yep, stay down there. I know, it's so tempting to pass on the right. Got to stay on it. Nicely done. I'm going to call this, this rider's nickname is Future Proof. Nice. Oh, we got 3 coming to the line. Look at this. Woo! Nicely done. Exit on the grass. There you go. You got some help pointing where to go. Nice. Leonardo coming flying in here. I know that reference. Nice riding. Couple more fast finishers coming here. Nice. All the way to the grass. Yep, don't stop on the concrete. Keep going, keep going. Nice job. Wow. That does it for the Kiddie Kilos. Great job. Hey, kids, you're going to come this way. Back up where you came in and right over towards that entrance. Nice job today. Right back to the gate you came in through. Nice job, everybody. I think you're going to get some medals, too, for your efforts to remember your fun you had tonight. So come on over and grab your goodie to remind yourself of your excellent effort tonight. Hey, folks, how about one more round of applause for the kids? And for our parents for coming out and bringing them here. Nice job. Now, what's the reward for mom and dad bringing the kids all the way out here and doing this? How about a trip into the beverage garden? Okay, well, they probably got to still take care of the kids. But for the rest of us, the beverage garden is open. $5 pours for a delicious beer from our good friends from Postdoc Brewery, which, by the way, is just outside the park, and they have just been blowing up. They started small just a couple years ago and have been really doing an awesome job. So go check them out sometime and give them some love for being one of our sponsors this year. Postdoc Brewery. In addition to that, our thanks to Locust Cider, started by a former racer. They have gone national because their ciders are incredible. Gluten-free, delicious, great flavors. You can get them in a lot of local supermarkets now as they start to really can some of their more popular flavors. The first tasting room was up in Woodinville. You can go see them up there and try something in person. They are a fantastic company, and they've got a good mission behind them, too. If you go to Locust Ciders online, you'll learn more about the efforts they're doing. Great company, and a big thanks to Locust Ciders for their support this year. Both of our Beverage Garden sponsors in 2021, our big thanks to them. Man, that was fun. Kiddie Kilos totally crushing it tonight in terms of the numbers. Our next field up is going to be the Cat 4 men for a Belgian win and out. We're just making sure that the our massive kids field is out of here and safe before we try to force anything else to happen. Looks like we might have someone down on the back straight here, so we might need to send someone to go check out what's going on. Don't forget now, athletes registration for the Marymore Carnival is open. Our replacement and or brand new event, opportunity for a new event in the absence of the GP here in 2021. We've got a unique racing program set up for you. It's going to be some different categories that you get to choose which one you think would be the best fit for you. We've got some recommendations on there when you go to register, so you should take a close look at all the details. It's now live. You can go register it through the Race Reg portal at veldrum.org. Get your sign up now. It's at the end of the month, July 30th and 31st. For the fans out there, that means a 7 o'clock race on a Friday. That's going to be even bigger. We got bigger cash prizes, and our riders are going to be all fighting for those. It's going to be fast and furious on July 30th. And then we also have a 6 o'clock on July 31st. So another evening of racing on a Saturday to end the carnival. So check that out. That's going to be a great time. Again, July 30th and 31st, the Marymore Carnival coming to you. Riders, the registration is open. Fans don't want to miss an opportunity for another fun evening of racing. Coming to the rail now, the Cat 4s will be doing a Belgian win and out starting here momentarily. The Belgian win and out on its way. This format is interesting and kind of fun. So the way the Belgian win and out works is that it's unlike the normal win and out. So if you've been here for a win and out, the first bell at 2 laps completed, so it'll still be 10 to go at that point, is for first place on that lap. In the Belgian, it's backwards. So we start with 4th place, which is kind of a weird place to start, but it makes sense when you think about it. You go 4th place on the first one, 3rd place on the second bell, 2nd place on the next bell, and then the last bell, it's first place, first across the line. The second rider is in 5th. So it's kind of an odd format in terms of the way that the placing works. When you get your placing, you are done with the race. So if you go and get 4th place on that first sprint, you're done. You get to exit early, which is kind of nice because in that way you get a longer rest before your next race. Same thing for getting 3rd place, by the way. You get to take half the race off. So something for our riders to think about here in the Belgian win and out, the reverse win and out. And the whistle signals that racing is underway. This is a 4x3 format, so what that means is there will be 4 bells separated by 3 laps. The first bell is for 4th place at 10 to go. Lap cards show 12 currently. Again, this field easily most impacted by our competitors that are away and out of town right now, as we do have a number of junior competitors that find their way in here. So you just watch these Kiddie Kilo kids out here. In a couple more years, they could find themselves doing the Camp Velo thing, and then after a couple more years of that, they get enough speed under them, enough effort, enough practice, and they get a little bit older, they get a little bit bigger gearings. They're able to fit right into a Cat 4 field and race right alongside these guys. So you'll have 14-year-old, 15-year-old, 16-year-old competitors, 17-year-old competitors out here in this Cat 4 field, and a lot of them tonight are off and away. We have, I believe, 20 juniors that we call Velodrome. This is their home velodrome that are out there. 16 are part of the Jerry Baker Velodrome team, the Jerry Baker Juniors. So a lot of young riders out from this field tonight that are competing out of town. David Gilchrist thinks maybe this first sprint might be a good time for him to go. And this is the thing about the Belgian win and out. It's like, it's kind of an ego thing. It's like, you know what? I can win it all. I'm just going to sit in. You go get the win. You go get 4th. Go for it. David Gilchrist being smart here. He says, why not? David's got a nice bit of space here. Campbell Harris gave a calculation really quick. He said, should I go catch that or not? He decided really quickly not to. So all David really has to do now is just go collect his 4th place finish. It's off the podium technically for this race, but a top place finish is better than not being in the top place finish, right? Being 4th instead of 6th, why not? So nice move here for David. He'll be able to collect on this. And again, with a race like this, it's weird. It's like, well, I have my opportunity to go, but this is now for 3rd. Will be the next bell. So as David Gilchrist exits the track, and he'll be all done as he got his 4th place already figured out. It's now Tyler Arnoldi off the front of the field and looking like he's on his way to collect what will likely be a bell for third here momentarily, and no one to challenge him as the field is like, you know what, you go get it. We're going to be fighting over second and first. So Arnoldi, again, just being very smart with his efforts. He says, why not? Let's go take this right now. 8 to go for Tyler. Well away from the field. We saw his speed and his endurance in the first race. He wasn't able to put together anything to get away from it, because the rest of the riders, because it was a pretty short race. But he's putting a nice show on us for us right now, as he's definitely got some endurance behind him. So he'll go ahead and roll ahead. The next thing he'll get is the bell here momentarily. Next field out here will be the Cat 3s for the wheel race. Again, please know your order. Velodrome.org/live at the live results to check what your order is. Arnoldi gets the bell. Third place next lap. I think the Vegas odds are pretty good in his favor right now, so. He's got half the track up on the rest of this field at this point. As the bell's ringing, again, everybody's thinking I'm racing for first. So, again, giving this opportunity for riders to get off the front, as it looks like Wilson Turk says, sure thing. I'll go get second place. You guys fight over first. He's got to sprint against nobody now to get second place. That's a pretty good deal. So Arnoldi collects his third place finish for his effort off the front. All right, Tyler called out of the race. He'll swing up and make his exit here shortly. Again, the move here from Wilson Turk, though, is looking pretty good, too. In fact, likely good for second at this rate. We'll see how it goes. I was waiting for Wilson Turk to look back and see what was behind it before I gave anything away. But Stanley Douglas doing a nice job here trying to bridge the gap. He's just now coming within striking distance. Wilson Turk serving as the carrot on the stick out here. Now, this is interesting, though, because one of these riders is going to get second and the other one's going to get first if they stay in this position. So now, Peter Gilchrist and James Campbell Harris have to do something about this, because they've got almost half the track now to go catch the top two places. Otherwise, they're going to be out of it. They'll be sitting in 5th and 6th place, depending on how they come across the line. This looks like Stanley may have made the right move here as he bridges the gap. Well, he's feeling like, you know what? I don't really have the motor. I'm going to wait for a wheel, and I'll beat you at the line. Maybe he's thinking I won't beat you, and I'll get first place. I don't know. This is interesting. Who's going to take the second? Who wants second? They're both smiling like, what is this? This is like the anti-race. First across the line gets second, and the other one's going to maybe get first. Funny. This is the weird thing. This is the inherent oddness of this race. We got two riders out the front. The top two places in the race at the line for these two riders. But it's almost a better prize to lose this sprint. But if you go too slow, then you're letting these guys catch you. All right. Stanley says, fine, I'll do it. This is wild. Wilson Turk's been like, yeah, this move paid off. All right. Two riders in the chase. First place in a couple laps. It's going to be Peter Gilchrist and James Campbell Harris, stuck with the responsibility of now trying to catch back on for first place. Don't forget to give some love to the socials for our Velodrome. It's JB Velodrome, Twitter, Instagram, and of course YouTube, where we're streaming live every Friday night. I think we do a pretty good job, all things considered, trying to share things around the world about great racing happening here in Redmond. And we'd appreciate if you're here tonight. If you haven't given us a thumbs up or subscribe on the YouTube channel, we'd certainly appreciate the help. It gives us the opportunity to spread the good word about what we're doing here in Redmond, Washington. Again, that's JB Velodrome is the channel, or you can just search Jerry Baker Memorial Velodrome on YouTube. You'll find us pretty quick. Friday night races always stream live there at 7 o'clock every week that we're racing. This is getting kind of interesting here. Wilson Turk's been off the front for an awfully long time. The two riders in the chase have organized, and they're starting to bring it a little bit close. The bell's ringing. Oh, man. Was it the right call not to get second place? Our rider out of Western is thinking, maybe I should have gone for second. Is Stanley Douglas going to be on the infield like pinching himself like, oh, yeah, I made the right move. Oh, man, this is kind of fun here. Oh, Peter's up and out of the saddle. Can he catch? James Campbell Harris says, you go get him, go get him. They might catch him. What? Here they come. Oh, they come flying around in the corner four. It's going to be the two riders in the chase. They make it. James Campbell Harris says, all right, I'll take the win. First place to the rider in white. That goes fifth place to Peter Gilchrist. And for all that effort, Wilson Turk doesn't get top three. Oh, man. What? The injustice. This race is weird. Wow. Yeah, that is something. That is something. All right, so now we need the racer interview for Stanley. How do you feel, Stanley, after that race? Thumbs up. That's right. Jeez. All right. Good times. All right, I'm going to get on here real quick, and we're going to confirm our order for the wheel race. Okay, so the race start order. First is Brett Seahorn. Second, David Branson. Third, Bradley Gutting. Fourth, Peter Snowblin. Fifth, Kit Colbert. Sixth, Hyun Lee. 7, Austin Hildreth. 8, Ryan Meinhardt. All right, as a reminder, because of the wheel race, riders, you will be starting from the rail on the whistle. There is no neutral. This is the start of the race for the wheel race. So riders will be prepared here to start on the whistle. Riders ready. Off we go. All right, so the wheel race is a handicapped race based on finishing order from the first race in the program tonight is how we figure that out. It's a short one. It's only 5 laps, so positioning helped the riders at the front sort of get into position a little bit better. So this is turned very quickly into a very short scratch race. So now what's going to end up happening is riders are going to be spending a lot of time above that blue line, I imagine, sort of being in a defensive position as they're saving their efforts for what will likely be a very fast finish. 3 to go. 2 to go. Austin Hillspreth, number 320, is up closest to the rail. He finished second in the last race, but you'll remember that he did that in a field sprint. He was the winner out of the field sprint. So in other words, look out for his top speed in this race, as he's definitely a threat. Once these riders get up to top speed, there's no question he's one to watch. As is the rider near the front of this field. He's in a good spot, Brad Gutting. Hyun Lee right in the middle of the field. The winner of the first race, the rider in red, who had the worst starting position, also capable of top speed. Got to keep your eyes open for him. It's going to be Gutting taking the lead spot at the bell. It's 1 to go. Gutting now on the lead spot, leading out this drag race around the track. He's trying to be quickly overtaken now, as Snoblin likely will be finding a position in front of him, sweeping over the top of him. Most of the riders following along with him, as Snowby's still on the lead spot. And Hyun Lee, I called him out as a fast sprinter. He's going to try to put on that show now. We've been talking about him. It's Hyun Lee coming out of the field. Hyun Lee finds it. Meinhardt was chasing nicely. Hillspreth also in the mix. It was going to be Hyun Lee, though, who found the right mixture of positioning and top speed to win the wheel race tonight for the Cat 3 men. Cat 1-2s to the rail. Thank you. Hey, good time right now, right before we start this next race. Don't forget, beverage garden's open. No line in there to go support the Marymore Belgium Association with a cider or a beer tonight. Jessica's Unique Bites still here, ready to serve a delicious burger. Go grab a quick snack, just a bit of fries. They're delicious, I promise you. You're going to love them. Come back and enjoy some more racing. It's a great time to go do that. They'll be here for the rest of the night, don't you worry. All right, so we did the Belgian win and out. Now we're back to the standard win and out. First bells for first place for the Cat 1-2 men. So the first sprint is for the big win, and that's only after what will be 3 laps at the point that that rider's done. So a very short race for the winner. After that, it descends from there. The next bell's for second, bell after that's for third, and then the last bell is 4th place, 5th place, so on and so forth. Placings for the rest of the riders. Riders exit when they get those early placings. So on those intermediate sprints, if you get first, you're done on that lap. If you get second, you're done on that lap. You're out of the race, therefore the name win and out. All right, still in the neutral. We'll get them started out of turn 4 as long as they're all together. What is a relatively short race for this group will be balanced out by some pretty long points races to end our program tonight, so stick around for some more great racing ahead of us. This will be the start out of turn 4 as the whistle sounded. Miller at the front. White and black will take the lead spot on this first lap. My semi-nickname for number 4 is the man of the first lap. He takes his spot back because he wants that front position on lap number 1. That is Andy Baker of the very same Jerry Baker Memorial Velodrome name, so wears it with pride out here on a Friday night. He'll swing up to the right and leave room for others to take the effort. It's Chris Wilson now that's up and out of the saddle, moving it for Found Cycling. He knows the finish is coming up fast. You cannot go slow in the win and out. If you are fortunate enough to be right along the rail, you might even feel the breeze as these riders come cruising by in these early laps, because it's pretty quick right now, especially off the effort of Chris Wilson re-accelerating it. The field moved quickly through turn 1 there. That bell's for first place. Who wants to go get it? Our winner from the first race is right in position. That's number 15. Watch him and how he rides this. He's on Richter's wheel, another very fast finisher, and he knew he wanted to follow him into this position. Chris Wilson says, I don't think I can beat these guys in a sprint, but I'm in a good spot. I'll try it, and nope, it's not going to happen. He's already off of his effort. It's now going to be Richter and Hers. Richter's in the lead spot. That gives Hers an advantage. He can be in the draft. He's got the longer distance, but he's got the draft. He's going to try the slingshot. He's rolling through. Number 15 on the outside, unofficially. Looked like he had it. It's called for the officials as well. Number 15 gets to call hers. Richter, though, here's the thing. You did that big sprint. Nobody was chasing you too hard. Why not just keep rolling it? He's got lots of motor to use, too. He's going to put in a nice effort here and should be able to cruise on his way towards second. If the field wants to challenge him, they're going to have to react very quickly now. So you can see how this sort of progression makes a little more natural sense than normal win and out when you have these situations, as now you did that effort for first. You might as well keep it on for second, right? I mean, it's right there. You just got to keep going. And that's exactly what Richter's doing right now. The distance, they're on the same straight. As the field is exiting the turns, David finds himself coming into the turn. We know him as the Rocket for his top speed. He's a speedy rider, but he's found himself in a nice tempo effort now. The field's in the chase for second place on this lap. Carl Hofer was leading the chase. The rider in red, he pulls up and out of the way, and it's now Andy Baker making a move. Can he get up there? Let's see. It's going to be the Rocket still at the front. Man, the closing speed, I just don't know if it was early enough. It's going to be Richter by a couple bike lengths there. Baker was on a move there. If he just had a few more seconds or maybe had started it earlier, he might have been able to close that distance. He was cruising. High speed move from Andy Baker. Now, can he do the same thing that Richter did? He's now put himself in that advantageous position for third place. But to get there was a big effort from him. So now he's going to have to dig deep and try to keep on the pedals and not let anybody catch him. He's got some riders in the chase. 5 to go. Bell next lap for third place. As number 4 exits and enters turn 1, we see Carl Hofer, Christian Miller, and Nolan Adams, the 3 riders closest to him. The rider in white now takes that lead spot to try to close it down. But Baker is still looking pretty smooth right now. He's turned the pedals well. Can he keep away the charge long enough? He's got about a lap and a half, a little bit less than that now to stay out in front to get the third place. Third place next lap for Baker. Can he hold on? One more for that third place finish. Nolan Adams now drives the train for the chase. Most of the field on their heels, though. The gap is not closing down quickly, although Carl Hofer thinking he might be able to get up there. Baker still has plenty of room behind him. Looking like nobody's going to be able to put together an effort to catch the rider that made this effort here to catch the second place. Not quite in time. It'll be Baker. Didn't get the second, but he did find third off of the back of his sprint. Everybody else left in this field will be fighting over fourth place. The scraps from this dinner table that is the win and out. It's going to get scrappy too because there's lots of riders still left in this group and they're all mostly together at this point. There's a little bit of a break there, as you can see, a little bit of daylight between a few riders. There's been some fatigue shown from some riders to hold on to the pace, but it looks like for the most part we are all together with the majority of this field now. Seeing 2 to go. Luda Max at the lead spot for Beat Cycling. This is interesting, this group here. We get a good view of John Levi's bike there in the black. He's the rider in the middle of that field that we've got the action camera on. He's riding underneath the group. And the bell's ringing. It's 1 to go. Christian Miller, number 5, making a nice move. I saw him a week ago make an effort like this to go get a really big preem, and nobody could even get close to him on the lap. But maybe tonight's going to look a little different. Whoa, Dyna Racing sending one forth. It's going to be Nolan Adams trying to make his effort seen here tonight. He's going to come trying to line up right alongside of him. He's got the speed. He'll carry him through. Nolan Adams will find the 4th place finish. Christian Miller will find 5th. Nicely done. Women competitors now coming up to the rail. They'll be racing in a win and out as well. On deck, we've got points racing for everybody. Cat 4 men will be our first crew to come up for their points race. All right, riders on the way for the win and out. Same format we just saw. First bell for first, second bell for second, third bell for third. The fourth bell at one to go for fourth, fifth, and all the rest. We hope you're having a good night here tonight out in this beautiful park, enjoying some racing. If this is your first time visiting, thank you for being a part of the community here tonight and being with us. We hope you'll come back again and have some more fun with us. We're here every Friday at 7 o'clock during the summer months. Our season is generally from June through August. We have sometimes a little bit of a preseason in May and a bit of a postseason in September, different lengths depending on things, but you can count on us to be here in the summer as long as it's not raining. That can be a big issue for us, so we tend not to race when there's any precipitation. If you want to know if we're racing or not, or you just want to have a general sense of our full calendar, I would point you towards our online sources of information. Velodrome.org is the main home for everything related to the Jerry Baker Memorial Velodrome. And if you want to know if racing has been canceled, probably the best place is the Facebook page and the Twitter account, which you can find online as well. At JB Velodrome on Twitter and Instagram, and search for the Jerry Baker Memorial Velodrome on Facebook to get those updates in the case that we do have a cancellation. It's 12 to go, and our first bell is for the winner. Now, you recall the riders that made it pretty fast in the first race for the women, 104 and 102. So I got my eyes on them, and I'm sure most of the field is thinking about that as well. Where they are is where the action will likely be, so they're going to keep their eyes on them and see when that action comes from those two. We talk about the importance about being in the draft and being where you are in terms of when it's a sprint effort. You want to be on the wheel of somebody that you know is going to be speedy. So I don't think it's any secret that number 102, Annette Williams, is watching Becca Book closely and has really glued her wheel to hers. So you're going to see those two riders close to each other for a majority of this race. With 11 to go, we know the bell's coming next lap. Colleen Greiger, number 216, is at the lead. Upcoming, our bell for the win. It's 10 to go. First place next lap. Nice and short. Who wants to put in the big top speed effort here? It's going to be a massive power sprint for the women's field to win this thing as we're all together. No early attack. We're just waiting for somebody to make the big jump now. And it's the two I was talking about right down the middle. As soon as Becca sees daylight, she wants to go for it. And Annette Williams says, I got to just go. Hold on, hold on, hold on. Becca looking very powerful from the front. I've always thought that Annette has the smoothest pedal motion on this field, and she just looks like she's effortless coming around the outside here trying to challenge Becca. You know there's a ton of effort though, and she does it masterfully once again. 102, smooth as can be, coming around the outside, is able to find it. Nice. The fans appreciate her top speed. Well done. Becca Book in a good spot here though. Why not just go for second? And I think she's gonna calculate that same thing herself as she's sees where the field is. She says, I got plenty left in me. Let's keep it going. One of our riders that would usually be out here had a very good first day at Nationals. I got to call out Kelly Darlene, not only for her success today, but in the Omnium yesterday, Kelly found a second place as well in her 17-18 junior women's competition. So another congratulations. She'd usually be out here racing with this group. So well done to Kelly on 2 days of great racing over in Pennsylvania. Another one of our juniors that tends to be out here on a Friday night that also had some great success in the junior men sprint tournament. Carl Pratis placing third place over there in Pennsylvania. So a third place to him, and another congratulations to one of our juniors for doing an awesome job. That bell's ringing for second place as Becca Book did the effort really 3 laps ago to be where she is. She's just rolling on that earlier sprint, looking very powerful and unchallenged at this moment. Heather Nielsen, number 111, isn't going for second. She's going for third, right? She's thinking she's following the lead of other riders. You might as well make your effort early and see if you can get away from other riders. As she does so, Bryn Ward does a good job catching on. Here comes our finisher for second place. Nicely done for Becca Book. May have wanted it to go a little differently, but that's still a great ride by her. She'll make her exit on the back straight as we now turn our attention to this group of 3 that's starting to make things fast for the remaining 6. Wade Easley now makes her move. 2:08 looking like maybe I can get away from these guys and not make it a sprint. Oh, she decides that's not the move. Thinking maybe they were going to hold on to the tempo that she was trying to set, and when they don't, she says, okay, I'm not going to make this effort yet. I'll fall back in. Let's keep this thing together for a little bit longer. Three riders together, getting some help from the home crowd as Bryn Ward, number 106, turns to the right. It's Colleen leading the charge, number 216, for the chase group there on the home straight. She'll pull up to the right as she's done her effort. There's our bell. This is now for third place. Who wants it? Heather Nielsen at the front of the field. She'll move to the right because she does not want to be there as the sprint's engaging. You think you want to be close to the finish line in a sprint, not necessarily. Give someone else the lead, and then you can use their draft to accelerate yourself and slingshot at the last moment. It'll be Bryn Ward that takes the lead spot, but it's Wade Easley that just looks like she may be a bit stronger tonight as she'll accelerate down and around, up and over the top, and now here she comes looking ready to take home this third place finish in the win and out. Nice job for Wade Easley as she does so quite confidently.
Out in stormy weather, I might have the blues, but nothing ever stopped me from dusting off my shoes. You might think you'll see me falling to
The next bell will be for fourth place, and it's going to be an all-out sprint between these two as now Nielsen and Bryn Ward make up the front of the race together. That'll be coming up on the next lap.
on a bad day, on a good day. I don't need no sunshine, 'cause I'm dancing with the rain. You will see me running, thinking I might be insane. I don't need no sunshine, you keep me going strong. I just need my happy face to keep me moving on.
One to go. Final sprint for the women here in the win and out. Nielsen at the front, Bryn Ward on the wheel. One to go for the chasing group here. One to go. On the back straight, it will be Nielsen still on the pedals trying to lead things out. Bryn Ward will try to make a sprint effort here in the final moments. Can she find the opportunity to get up to speed and come around the outside? Nielsen just trying to hold on. Bryn Ward's making it fast and making it close. Nielsen still on the lead spot. It's going to be side by side. Nielsen gritting the teeth. Yeah, Nielsen on the inside has just enough.
No one ever stopped me, not even Uncle Sam. Life might be a struggle.
Nicely done for our women competitors, sprinting all the way across this field. You might as well. Nicely done. Excellent work for our riders here in their second race, and they will all make their way off on the back straight.
On a bad day,
Cat 4 men are coming up for the points race. You're invited to the rail. All right, so I'll try to explain the rules once, and then after this, there'll be a quiz. If you get it right, there's no prize. Points racing, we got several of them coming up. If you've not been to the velodrome before, you may not know how this works. So the basic rundown is in a points race, riders at the front of the field earn points based on the finishing order on certain laps. We call those sprint laps or intermediate sprints throughout the race. The points go like this. First rider gets 5, second rider gets 3, third rider gets 2, fourth rider gets 1. The only time that changes is on the final lap. It's double for 10, 6, 4, and 2. Rider with the most number of points at the end of the race is the winner. Ties are broken by position on the final sprint. You know when those sprints will be based on the printed format for the race. This is a 4x5, which means 4 sprints separated by 5 laps for a total of 20 laps. So we'll know there'll be 4 bells on this race. 3 of them will be for the normal 5, 3, 2, and 1. The final at 1 to go, 10, 6, 4, and 2. Racing underway, 20 to go. First bell at 16 to go. So in the early goings here, our field mostly awaiting the sound of the bell. They know this is going to be a long event for them, especially when you don't have a lot of riders to share the efforts with. It's all about conservation. I have zero judgment against them for that sort of mentality in the beginning of this race. Good time for you to go get a refreshment in the beverage garden if you haven't done so yet. Enjoy the wonderful libations from our good friends, Postdoc Brewery or Locust Ciders, both making some great flavors on hand here tonight. We've got the dark cherry cider from Locust, and that is a phenomenally refreshing beverage out of the keg, let me tell you. We've also got a great IPA, the Alpha Factor, as well as I believe the Hydrogen Blonde from Postdoc. So both are great options, and you get to enjoy it out of the beautiful cups that we've got from Stanley, which the big benefit from that is that we are a zero waste beverage garden now. So you can feel not only like you're donating to a good cause when you purchase in the beverage garden, as all of that's going to go right back into supporting racing and our programs here, but you also aren't contributing any extra waste. So appreciate our friends over there at Stanley for their contribution this year to make that possible. That's right. It's only $5 to support the. That's it, and it's a big pour too. Let me tell you, in a really fancy cup. I don't know. Someone's just asking me how much was it. I got to get my wallet ready. I got to count out and figure out the cash. You know, get this on set aside. It's cash or card, by the way. It's cash or card. I know. Bells ringing. Here we go. Points to start this thing off. Our first sprint for points. All right, down the back straight. It looks like a little bit of change up at the lead here, as it'll now be Gilchrist taking the first spot. Gilchrist looking to collect 5. Stanley Douglas on his way for 3. That's Arnoldi for 2, and Campbell Harris for 1. Jessica's still here serving out of the food truck. Don't forget, if you didn't make plans for dinner, you know what? It's getting late. You've been here. It's been a long day. You need that midnight snack when you get back home. They are fantastic fries. I promise you will not be disappointed. And they've got some delicious burgers as well, ready to serve. Don't forget to pick up tonight before you head out. We are here at 13 laps remaining as Stanley Douglas, our rider, currently in second place, swings up out of the way. And as always, I'll remind you that Friday Night Racing is a weekly occurrence here. We look forward to hosting some more great racing when we have more of our friends back from Pennsylvania next week. And a lot of the same races you see here, we'll be joining them as well. So you look forward to that. Again, that's a 7 o'clock start. The Kiddie Kilo, as a reminder for those folks that were here earlier, if you saw that and thought, you know what, I know a kid that would love this. I should invite them to come out. That's the first and third Fridays of the month. So for July, we're all wrapped up, but there will be another one at the beginning of August. So keep that in the back of your mind. And if you can't remember anything I'm talking about and there's too much information coming your way, just remember velodrome.org and you'll be good to go. All right, 0.6 lap at 11 to go. And it's going to be a tight one for the 5. It'll be Gilchrist down the middle. I think they got it. A tight one for second and third for sure. Pretty clearly it was Peter Gilchrist out there for the 5 from where I was. My first guess is that it's going to be on the inside to Arnoldi for the 3, and Stan Douglas will find 2 points. Indeed, it's in the order I called it. So Peter Gilchrist is now our leader with 10 points. That's rider 401, the junior out there. Tyler Arnoldi and Stan Douglas are tied with 5 points apiece. That's number 414 and 420. James Campbell Harris is in 4th with 2 points. So our race leader has the white helmet on with the black kit, some blue highlights there. The riders that are tied, one of them is the rider in the purple with the white helmet. Both riders actually near the front of the field right now. As you can see, the rider in purple riding above the blue line, and then down in the sprinters lane is the other rider with 5 points. They're in the tie for second. So those are our top 3 right now to keep your eye on. Sitting at 8 to go, we got a sprint at 6 laps remaining. Seven to go. Arnoldi on the lead spot. One of our riders with 5 points. Tied for second right now. On deck, the Cat 3s for their 5x5 points race. Here we go, some more 0.6 lap. Hearing the bell, but not hearing the call yet for the sprint as all the riders waiting for someone to make the move. The race is kind of close still, so it's going to be very important coming out of this sprint to figure out where everybody is and then look at that final sprint, the one worth 10 points at the lead, is going to be very critical. Arnoldi leading things out through turn 3 now, as it'll be Peter Gilchrist matching the speed, and James Campbell-Harris putting in a nice effort here, maybe trying to find the 5. Coming around in the corner, we got 3 riders spreading out. It'll be Campbell-Harris making a nice effort mid-race here for 5. Peter Gilchrist might have gotten the 3. That was awfully close. I think Wilson Turk will be called with the 1 point there, though down the lap. It is Gilchrist for 3 points after that sprint, so we confirmed it's Gilchrist gets the 3. Arnoldi got 2. The leader, Peter Gilchrist, now has 13 points after the previous sprint. James Campbell-Harris and Tyler Arnoldi are now the new riders tied for second. They both have 7. Stan Douglas sitting in 4th with 5. That matches our official records as of right now. Therefore, I am allowed to come back next Friday. At 3 to go, we've got a break of 3. Campbell-Harris, the winner of the previous sprint, hoping to pick up a big 10 on the next effort, as that will be what is coming right around the corner. Cat 3's ought to be set to go here as you're up next. Campbell-Harris riding at the blue line, though, signaling it's not time to put in the effort yet. He's hoping to make it shorter before the sprint comes. Peter Gilchrist right on his wheel, the current race leader with 13 points. Tyler Arnoldi tied with Campbell-Harris, the rider in purple, so the front and the back of this group of 3 are in a tie with 7 points apiece. Certainly will be breaking that tie in this last sprint one way or another. Our chasers doing some work to try to get back there. The leaders are just happy to sit on James's wheel here. He's riding high, hoping that someone is willing to take the front from him, but if no one does, he'll just keep this moderate tempo, allowing the riders in the chase to close things down a little bit here. At 1 to go, it's Campbell-Harris at the front. I call him Top Gun in a really good position here, the rider in white and black. The challenge will be to hold that position as 2 riders will be breathing down his neck, down the back straight. Campbell-Harris still looking like he may be unbeatable here. Peter Gilchrist has got the advantage of the draft. Will try to get himself up and over. Here comes the effort from the kid. Can he make it? Campbell-Harris looking like he's going to be challenged to the line. Peter Gilchrist, Campbell-Harris. It'll be on the inside. James Campbell-Harris for 10 points. Peter Gilchrist with 6 more will still be our winner, though. That will not snatch the victory out of his hands. So the junior takes it. Campbell-Harris with the 10 points should be in second place after that. Nice race for the Cat 4 men. A couple more finishers here, and then we'll bring out our next field.
Fading in, fading out. My scars are all blurry. Been underwater for too long. There's no need to be worried. I felt so heavy.
5 by 5 points race coming to the rail now for the Cat 3 men.
If you would let me go, I would let you in.
5 by 5 is the format, so if you got the quiz right earlier, if you got all the information, you should be able to tell me the following things: that this race is 25 laps, that there's 5 sprints, they're separated by 5 laps each, The first 4 are 5, 3, 2, and 1, and the last one is 10, 6, 4, and 2. Boom, there's the Cliff Notes version. Sprints will always be on laps ending with a 1 or a 6, so our first sprint will be at 21 laps remaining. And the whistle signals the beginning of racing. 25 laps to go. First belt, 21 to go. Kurt Gilbert will be accelerating things for the field. If you know this is something you definitely want to get into, and you're not want just a little try the track I talked about earlier, you're like, you know what, I'm ready to get out there for several hours, get some real help with real racing. Let's get into it. Let's do it. The best way to get involved in the track and actually race is to take the 4-hour adult track class on a weekend. You get out here for those 4 hours, and for $40, we'll not only give you the instruction you need, we'll also give you a track bike for the time that you're here that will fit you on, and we'll get you out here and show you the ways of the track, help you navigate what it's about to be in the sprinter's lane, talk about the different lines that you see out here that go around the track and what those rules are around them. And then most importantly, just get you comfortable managing and working with these track bikes and feeling like you can get them up to speed, starting them and stopping them and all that fun stuff. With the help of our staff, you'll feel ready to get started with beginning racing on Monday nights once you take it. You can get registered for one of the adult classes online at velodrome.org. Head to the Education tab and see if one of those weekend classes fits your schedule. They're offered alternating on Saturdays and Sundays during the summer. 23 to go. Ryan Meinhardt at the front. He knows he's got 2 laps before the bell. Next lap, our first sprint will be underway as the bell will be ringing next time they come across that line. Kurt Gilbert's down the sprinter's lane, just happy to keep the pace consistent as everybody else is sitting up and looking around at each other. And they realize he's just rolling away. They'll get on his wheel. .21 to go, and our bell's ringing for the first points. Meinhardt wants them. 3:36 for the Audi Crikey Sports team there is really rolling. Austin Hilsbreth, the next rider to join in on this sprint. Snoblin also covering nicely here. The rider in white and black is really cruising up fast. He's closed this distance right on down. Can he come into position to take the points? Hilsbreth is in a great spot and has a shorter distance to go. Whoa, who's gonna get the first 5? It'll be Hilsbreth for 5, Snoblin for 3, Branson for 2, and I think Meinhardt gets 1. Our early leader is Austin Hildreth with 5, number 320. He's the rider in the blue with the black helmet closest to you if you're along the rail. In second is Peter Snoblin. He's got 3 points, rider 303. David Branson in third with 2, number 318, and then our fourth place rider, Ryan Meinhardt, number 336. The rider in red at the front of the field currently. Everyone happy to find Meinhardt's wheel in the middle of this race and sit on it. He looks around and realizes everybody is joining in on his tempo. It's Bradley Gutting sitting high on the track and watching for somebody to take the low lane as there's plenty of room to do so. He knows the bell's coming, so he's waiting for the jump. Points next lap. Gutting at the front spot. He will take the acceleration now. He'll bring everybody up to speed down at the blue line. He'll now move into the sprinter's lane. Meinhardt is the next rider to match his tempo. It'll be Snoblin also getting in a good spot here. Snowby is going for it big time around the right-hand side. Can he get to the front this time? It's still Gutting on the lead spot. A hill sprint, also a rider to look out for. Look out for Austin coming around on the high spot. It will be Austin for 5, Snowby for 3, and I think Branson found 2 again. Unofficially, Meinhardt found 1 point. So Hildreth, our leader, remains on top with another victory in that sprint. He's got 10 points. Snowby's got 6 in second place. Branson, 3rd with 4. Meinhardt, 4th with 2. Since the riders got 10, 6, 4, and 2, we can therefore surmise that they had the same finishing order twice in a row. How interesting. We'll see if that continues or if we'll start mixing it up. This is definitely a long enough race where I expect to not see the same finishing order every time. 3 sprints remain. $12 to go. Bell next lap. Get a good view there as they're coming along corner 4 from the stream, getting up to speed before the bell's ringing. Staying high, waiting for that move down to the left at 11 to go. It's Bradley Gutting at the front looking for his first points, hoping to guard the front from any sort of maneuver so he can go get his payout. Snoblin accelerates quickly down the sprinter's lane. He'll try to get up there before Gutting gets down, but it will be Bradley Gutting still in the front spot. So now Snowby's got to take the right turn to come up and around. Five, I believe, for Gutting, 3 for Snoblin. 2 might have been for Meinhardt, either that or on the inside to Hyun Lee. It was pretty tight there. My unofficial points totals reads this way now. Austin Hildreth, our leader, with 10. Right behind him is Snowby with 9 in second. Then I have Bradley Gutting with 5 in third. David Branson and Ryan Meinhardt both have 4. The only rider I have with a point is Hyun Lee with 1. Nice move here from Kurt Kilbert off the front of this group for a couple laps while we're doing the points. He's trying to get away from this field as they're all trying to catch their breath. They know that the biggest sprint is a couple laps away still, so they've got to hold on for a few more, and he figures this might be a great time to be opportunistic. Everyone's keeping pretty close though as the bell's ringing. 6 to go. Kilbert out in front. Bradley Gutting doing some work to chase now. Our race leader, again unofficially, is Hildreth, who is in this group that's now catching. He's the second rider behind Snowblin there in the blue with the black helmet. Snowblin at the front of the field is currently in second, although he's trying to change that up. He might be our new leader before the final sprint. Snowby on a turn here. He's going to pick up the 5. It'll be 3 for Hildreth, 2 for Meinhardt, and 1 for Branson. Snowblin now leads with 14, while Hildreth chases with 13. So the front of the race is between number 320 and 303. Closely matched by just a single point. They'll be watching each other closely in the upcoming sprint. We've also got a very tight race for third right now between Ryan Meinhardt with 6, Bradley Gutting and David Branson both with 5, unofficially. The only rider I have with 1 point is still Hyun Lee. Three to go. So again, it's very tight for first. It's very tight for third. There's a bit of a valley there between those two points totals as 2 riders within 1 point of each other. At the top of the race for first and second, it's 14 and 13 points. And then the next closest rider has 6. There's a possibility that that gets mixed up, but most likely we'll be watching the race between Hildreth and Snowblin. Again, Snowblin in the white and black, right in the middle of that field, right in front of him with the black helmet, and the blue kid is Hildreth. Those are the 2 to watch for the first and second ride. For third, fourth, and fifth, we're watching for Meinhardt, Gutting, and Branson, who are all within a point of each other as well. 2 to go. Next lap is a bell. The final lap of racing for the Cat 3 men. Next lap. Everyone riding behind Hildreth along the rail right now. It looks like a big match sprint as everybody's just willing to bring this up to pace well to the right side. Meinhardt, one of the riders looking to break this tie for third. He's going to be near the front and maybe ready to make this jump. There it is. Bell's ringing, final lap. 1 to go, 1 to go. Meinhardt loading up for this one. Whoa. Jeez. That was an acceleration. Meinhardt putting on a nice show down the back straight. He's got more to go. He does not want to get caught here. He is going to put every last bit of effort out on the track tonight. Hildreth says, I want to go get it, but I don't think you can catch, baby. He can. Look out. Whoa. These Cat 3's got lots of speed still to show tonight. Nice try from Hildreth. It'll be Meinhardt for a Big 10. That'll give him a third place finish in the race. And with Hildreth coming out in front of Snowblin, Hildreth will be our winner in first place. So the second rider across the line was our winner tonight, because that's what points racing's all about. As confusing as possible. I guess if I'm doing my job, it's not too confusing. All right, Cat 1-2 is up to the front. Let's get you up here. So we took 2 sprints away from the Cat 3s. I told them we should give them to you guys. What do you think? I mean, yeah, we can't just like eliminate laps from a night. Isn't there like some rule against that? All right, so we've adjusted to an 8x5 for our Cat 1-2 men points race coming up here. 8x5, 40 laps. Off we go for the neutral. We'll start out of turn 4 as long as the riders are together. First bell at 36 to go. Same rules apply. Hopefully by now you've figured out what to expect in terms of the way the points are ordered up and added together. Here it comes. First lap of racing. And not only the first lap man here, but also a happy birthday tomorrow to number 4 off the front, Andy Baker. I should have embarrassed him more than that, but I'll give him an easy night. I've got a lot going on. I couldn't coordinate an entire field singing happy birthday, and just too much on my plate today, you know? I guess I should, well, yeah. I mean, yeah, he'll experience it kind of like the siren, though. It'll be higher pitched as he's coming at me and lower pitched. It's a really negative experience if I'm doing it, you know? That whole Doppler effect is really unpleasant. I can recruit your help maybe when we get done with the race. How's that? Carl Hofer pulls up to the right-hand side, the leader on the lap that time. No sprints yet, so everybody's tied up at 0 points. Our first sprint in a couple laps. John Levi on the lead spot there at 37 to go. Next lap, we got a bell. Bunching up a little bit here as the field very naturally spreads across the track. Riders awaiting the jump at the first sprint. Who wants the early lead? Number 17, the Rocket, lining things up in turn 1. One of his teammates starting to accelerate in the middle of the field. It's going to be a lot of dark green at the front here. Richter's holding on at the front right now. looking like no one's going to be able to find their way around him. The other fast finisher tonight, Maddie Hers, trying to get into position. It will be Hers for 5, Richter for 3, Baker for 2, Nolan Adams for 1 unofficially. Early race leader, Matty Hers, number 15. He squeezed his way out of that position to be able to get those 5 points. I was surprised and impressed by his effort there to find it. Richter holds on for 3. Andy Baker found his way in there for 2. Nolan Adams, number 11, found 1 point. Those are our top 4 right now. See who's willing to do the next effort, as Baker looked like he wanted to keep it fast. Nobody else is of the same mind. A couple riders that found themselves out of the last effort are back into it thanks to the slowing from the field. Matty Hers, who has been an absolute force tonight in this group. Carla Rohrbach being represented well by him today. At 32 to go, he's joined by Carl Hofer for Audi, Chris Wilson for Found Cycling, number 39, and number 4 again, Andy Baker, make up the group on 4 on the front. This is absolutely go time for this field if they let this get away from them. So you can see Christian Miller, who first had to catch and then continues right on through to make sure that they don't lose on these lead riders' positions before the bell is ringing. 31 to go, and they've basically brought it back together again. Baker still down in his drops, hoping to stay away from anybody looking like he's willing to just lead this thing out. In all likelihood, it will be the riders 3 or 4 wheels back that are going to be the biggest threat here. I'm looking at Richter in a really good spot. Nolan Adams also in a good spot. Andy Baker, though, just from the front. Can anybody come around him? He's ready for his big effort from the front. He wants to make a big show of it, so he'll find 5 as he powers it out. 3 for Richter, 2 for Wilson, and 1 more for Nolan Adams. Andy Baker, unofficially our leader with 7 points. I got Richter in second with 6. In third, Hers with 5. Chris Wilson and Nolan Adams both with 2 points is where I've got it right now. Those points totals unofficial. And 17 to go. One of our riders looking for points is Carl Hofer, number 32 at the front as he rides high, not wanting to spend too much effort, but still rolling things forward. Ludo Max for Beat Cycling is now going to take that left-hand fall into the sprinter's lane, and everybody falls in turn behind him. .26 to go. Christian Miller also without points has done a lot of effort today to just be back with the lead group, and now he's on the attack. His riders give him an opportunity to kind of sneak off the front for a bit. Look out, though. Dark green is really lighting things up here. As Chris Wilson, the rider, now totally on his pedals and moving through turn 4, will take the 5. Who's going to find 3 behind him? Matty Hers looks like he's in the right spot. Matty will find 3, 2 more for Richter, and 1 more for Nolan Adams. Man, number 11 just keeps getting 1 each time. He's gonna be Mr. Consistent today in this race. My unofficial points totals have a couple of ties. In fact, 2 of them, I believe. At the top, we've got 2 riders with 8 points, as both Matty Hers and David Richter both have 8. Andy Baker and Chris Wilson are tied in 3rd place with 7. After that, I got Nolan Adams with 3. That matches the officials as well. So an interesting situation with the points early on. We're nearly halfway through. At 23 laps to go. Let's find our leaders here. So again, the riders with the most number of points. Matty Hers is number 15 in the black with some of the green highlights there. He's right in the middle of the field. You can also see he's got the big, fast-looking white helmet on. Richter for the Fount Cycling Guild is second from last in that lineup right now. Dark green kit, dark black helmet. He's the other rider in the lead. So there's our 2 with 8 points. Andy Baker, number 4, and Chris Wilson, number 39, tied for 3rd with 7 apiece. And there's Chris Wilson now, number 39, coming to the front. So making that easy on me to find him. Andy Baker, number 4, in between the lead 3 and the main field right now. He's kind of working his way up towards the front, being ready for this next sprint. .21 laps to go and the bell's ringing. Carl Hofer is at the front of this thing. He's hoping to find his first points of the night and maybe looking for a sprint to jump on. He'll find it, but already 4 riders have moved pretty quickly away from him as Christian Miller, the rider in white at the front of this group of 3, is shuffling along very well. I see Hers and Williams matching tempo with him. It's going to be Miller for 5, Hers for 5. Whoa! Matty Hers, I think, might have found the 5. Christian Miller for 3. Kenny Williams, got the 2, number 2. And Andy Baker, I think, got 1. Matty Hers becomes the lone leader after that big sprint. He'll find the 5 points and a total of 13 to him. So number 15 in the lead with 13 points. After that, it's 8 to Richter in second. Chris Wilson in third with, Andy Baker with 8 as well as in a tie for second. So Baker and Richter in a tie at 8 points apiece, I believe. After that, it's Chris Wilson in fourth with 7. Nolan Adams has got 3, and Kenny Williams with 2. I also got Christian Miller with 3 points. $17 to go, bell next lap. We got a couple more sprints here before the big final sprint is coming up. Chris Wilson, one of our riders that's been very active in this race. He's near the top in the leaderboard right now. He wants to try to find some more. We'll just keep accelerating this lead group of 5. He's the right at the front of it. Baker, Hofer, and Ludo Max all swing up behind his move, and they all reset themselves right behind Matty Hers, who's clicking really well now. Points next lap. Our race leader right at the front of the race, number 15. Look out for Nolan Adams making this nice move as well. He'll join in on the lead group. This is shattering the field. This effort from the lead 3, 4, 5, now 6 riders has created this division. Riders all over the place making and scrambling to be up here on this effort. Andy Baker, though, has plenty more to give. He'll get off the front and find the 5. Carl Hofer will find his points. It'll be 3. Ludo Max for 2, and Matty Hers for 1. These long races pay off to have some endurance. You got to get through the early laps and keep the speed up. Our race leader holds on to it just barely, as he's got 14 points now. Number 15 with 14 points in the lead is Matty Hers. Andy Baker is right behind him at 13 points in second place. After that, I got 8 points to Richter, 7 points to Wilson, 3 points to Miller, Hofer, and Adams, 2 points to Kenny Williams, 2 points to Ludo Max. That matches the officials' records as well. These guys are making it hard on me. A lot of riders with points tonight. 13 to go. Ludo Max at the lead of the field as he pulls up to the right and gives room for our race leader, Matty Hers. He's going to keep his eye on Andy Baker in there, who's been nipping at his lead after that last sprint. It's got Matty worried. $12 to go as Hofer pushing the pedals to keep things fast. He does not want to let this lead group get larger, but there will be a catch that's getting up to him. The largest group of riders is that front group. 4 right behind him trying to catch back on. Will make our field now 9 strong. Coming into another bell lap, everyone's swinging out of the way. The only one in the sprinter's lane is Richter. 11 to go, and points next lap. The race leader looking around, he says, where's Andy Baker? Number 15 keeping his eyes open for the action behind him. He sees Richter down the sprinter's lane, not jumping yet. Everybody's watching him too, waiting to see if he starts to accelerate. They'll use his wheel, though, and likely slingshot themselves into a great spot. But Richter is no slouch from the front either. He's going to try to make it hard. It'll be now Hers coming into a good position. Baker's matching speed. So is Nolan Adams coming into this one. It'll be Baker for 5. Hers for 3. Nolan Adams, I think, got the 2 this time. He broke a streak. 1 point for Richter, I believe. I love seeing some of our athletes out here when get these longer races, which we don't always get at the track. It looks like they get stronger the longer it goes on. And in that case, you're seeing Andy Baker, it almost looks like he's becoming harder to beat the longer this race is going on, because the endurance is becoming a big factor, right? So during these sprints, it's becoming the deciding point for these riders is who can survive longest and keep the speed up. He takes the lead with his most recent effort. So Baker now in the lead with a total of 18 points. He's got 1 point on Matty Hers, right behind him at 17 points. They're pretty far out in front of the rest of these competitors as they've got the lion's share of the points between them. The next closest rider is Richter with 9. Chris Wilson has 7. Nolan Adams 5 points. Then it goes Hofer, Miller with 3. Ludo Max still with 2, and Kenny Williams with 2, I believe. 7 to go, 2 more sprints. Andy Baker, your new race leader, number 4, right in the middle of that field, trying to rest up for what will be 2 more very important sprints for him, as Maddie Hers is thinking the same thing. A good race for first going on here in the track. David Richter right now sitting alone with the 3rd place points. Number 17's got 9. We'll see if any of the riders right behind him can catch him in the next couple of sprints, because that is certainly not a safe place for him to be right now. Plenty are right behind him. Luda Max, 6 laps to go. It's number 38 the lead, and most of the riders are back together again. Chris Wilson's been out of it for a few laps here from the front. He's going to find his way back up here now as number 39 was shaking and baking early in this thing. Now he's back in it. Carl Hofer at the front of this thing. Here comes Andy Baker, still looking like he's ready for more. Baker coming down through the turn. It's Maddie Hers and Baker racing for first place. Baker's got it. 5 more for him, 3 for Hers, 2 for Hofer. And I think Chris Wilson was fast enough for the 1. It's either him or Kenny Williams got the 1 point at the end of it. Current race leader, Andy Baker, now with 23 points. Second place, Maddie Hers with 20. The next closest rider is still Richter with 9. Right behind him, Chris Wilson with 8. That's the fight now for 3rd place between those 2. Nolan Adams and Carl Hofer both have 5. After that, Miller with 3, Max with 2, Williams with 2. That's been unchanged for a while. Miller's off the lead lap right now. He may lose the lap, but he's trying to hold on to his lap. If he does so, he'll still have the points he's earned, and that'll help him out here at the end of this race. So he's trying to do that with 3 to go. Looking at the field on the back straight, has slowed up a bit. They're sitting above the blue line. The movers and the shakers in this field have really come down to number 4 and 15 as the race is between them. One thing that makes interesting is oftentimes if those 2 are watching each other and that's all they really care about, then the other riders can make moves and almost be ignored by the leaders. So that oftentimes can be a factor in these final moments of the race. At 2 to go, Ludo Max knows that. He's going to make a move. The only one that number 4 cares about is number 15, really. That's going to be his only competition in this last sprint. Down the back straight, Ludo Max and Carl Hofer make up the break of 2 just barely off of this fast field on the wheels of Andy Baker now as they come up. Chris Wilson swings up to find the rest of the chasing field coming at him. Here it is, folks, a 40-lap race almost to its conclusion. 1 to go, final sprint. Andy Baker on his way to try to win this thing at the front of the field. He's got Maddie Hers on his wheel. If Maddie Hers finds this sprint, he will be our winner. Andy Baker needs the 10 here over Maddie Hers. He will be able to come up and over the top. He wants to make sure he wins this race. If he finds the 10, there's no question. Can he get it? Maddie Hers is finding the wheel. It's going to be a 2-up sprint between these 2. This might be the race. Maddie Hers trying to find it. Andy Baker's trying to dig deep. Wants to get it. Maddie Hers gets 10 points and just enough as he gives the fist bump. He's like, I know. That was just what I needed. Andy Baker and Maddie Hers. What a nice race between those 2. Wow. I'm looking for Richter. He looks like he might have finished pretty far up there as well. And if he did so, he should hold on for a 3rd place finish. So he got 4 more points in that sprint. So Richter will be on the podium tonight for the points race, so to speak. Well done for the Cat 1-2, man. That was a fun finish. All right, we got one more race to bring up. It's our women points race. All right, a 4x5 women's race here coming up. So one more points race to go. Don't forget the beverage garden is still open. You can hang out with us for a little bit longer, support the MVA, and cheer on the women field for their final race of Friday night racing. All right, I field out into the neutral right now. They will start out of turn 4 if they're all together. Our 20-lap race is a 4x5, 4 sprints separated by 5 laps each. Same rules apply as what we've seen in the previous points races. Racing underway, 20 to go. First sprint at 16 laps. You get a bell. Cameron Forsyth coming onto the YouTube and leaving a message here for Maddie. Congratulations for a great points race. Thanks, Cameron, for the positivity. We appreciate it. I'm sure Maddie does as well. That was a great race from all of those competitors just a moment ago. Our women right now are in the early stages of this 20-lap event. They got a couple more laps before a bell. 3 more laps, really. Number 111. Right at the front there is Heather Nielsen. It's a cool thing to acknowledge here that we have a couple more women riders joining us here for the first time on a Friday night, which has bolstered these numbers. And when we bring back our riders that are out of town, our women's field's starting to kind of climb up there in numbers. So it's good to see that. We had another victory earlier this week where on Wednesdays we had a Master B field of actual numbers, which was phenomenal on a Wednesday night. So it's good to see all of our crowds growing a little bit here. All of our normal fields getting a little bit bigger throughout the season. So we'll be coming into our first points of the race here. The riders see 16 to go. Cruising along here. Becca Book for 5. Annette Williams for 3. Wade Easley for 2. And Bryn Ward for 1. They've gone through all. All right, at 13 laps remaining. Again, our early leader here, Becca Book with 5, Annette Williams with 3 in second. Wade Easley in third with 2, and Bryn Ward found 1 point, good for 4th.
I've been trying hard to keep my cool, but when you're near, there's nothing that I can do. When you're walking in, I know it's true. It doesn't even matter how hard I try, 'cause when I hear your voice, my walls come down. Boy, you are the only thing I want. There must be a way I can make you see that if we fell in love, it would be so sweet. But when it's you and me, nobody can bring us down, bring us down. But I don't wanna look up if you don't love me back. 'Cause I don't wanna look up if you don't.
All right, our sprint is underway here. We've got points at the line this lap. I'm watching for Heather Nielsen maybe to make a move here on the outside as she'll come sprinting down the back straight and now finding her way down into that sprinter's lane. It would be her first points of the race. Becca Book has another bit of punch in her left. She'll make the big kick around the outside here, trying to find the 5. Book for 5, Williams for 3, Nielsen 2, and Wade Easley 1. Our race leader, Becca Book with 10. In second place, Annette Williams with 6. Catherine Wade Easley in third with 3. Heather Nielsen has 2, and Bryn Ward has 1. Saw 8 to go. A couple more laps for the next bell. Current race leader Becca Buck is number 104. She's right in front of the lead position rider right there. She'll pull up to the right-hand side behind Wade Easley, who was at the front. The rider in orange, Becca Buck, our current leader with 10 points, right in the middle of the field, waiting for the next jump to occur. Bell next lap. Everyone riding nice and high near the rail. Coming into what will be a bell momentarily. Wade Easley finds herself at the front. She's got 3 points on her scoreboard right now. Underneath her, though, the move comes from Bryn Ward. With her signature hot pink colors on the jersey, you can see her. She accelerates it quickly down the home straight. Wade Easley matching and trying to find now her lead spot over the right side. It'll be Nielsen, Book, and Williams lined up behind her. That lineup will be eventually taking the front. Wade Easley on a nice turn here herself, looking like she may not be beatable. She'll try to keep it from the front. Everyone's trying to breathe down and find some room over the top. Annette Williams is chasing Wade Easley on the inside. Will get 3 still as Annette Williams finds 5. Becca Book looks to get 2 more. I think Heather Nielsen got 1. Our race leader holds on to it by just 1 point. Becca Book now has 12 as Annette Williams has 11 for first and second. I have Catherine Wade Easley with 6 points still in third. Heather Nielsen has 3 and Bryn Ward has 1. Our rider in third place there, swinging up to the top of the track, is she's got 6 points to her name, Wade Easley. Still not out of the hunt for first, although there's only 1 sprint remaining, so she would need a significant thing to occur in the final sprint where the current 2 leaders get no points in that final sprint, and she'd have to win to get the 10 points. We'll see if that occurs. Otherwise, we're watching 104 and 102. Becca Book, who sits second wheel right now in the orange, and right behind her, no surprise, is Annette Williams. Those two are within a point of each other and will be sprinting for first and second in the upcoming sprint. Bell's ringing for 1 to go. It's the final lap of racing tonight, and it will be Heather Nielsen coming up to the front to take the sprinters lane first. Watch 104 and 102. They're going to be the ones that will determine our top 2 spots in this race most likely. Wade Easley, the rider in third, points-wise, is the fourth rider in that lineup. She wants to be in on the sprint as well. Here goes Becca Buck trying to win the thing. Oh, man, Annette Williams is looking strong here at the end of the race. She just needs to stay on the wheel and then swing out and finish like she knows how to do. Can she do it one more time, Becca Buck? Annette Williams, Becca Buck, Annette Williams. Whoa, Annette Williams just enough. Becca Buck. And Wade easily will find third place comfortably with those 4 more points to hold on to it. Very well done. Couple more to finish here. And thank you, everybody, for what a night we've had. It's been a fantastic night of racing. I know we've just got a few of you left here in person. If you're still online watching, you must have enjoyed it. Don't forget to leave a thumbs up, and if it's in your heart to do so, give us a subscription as well. Share the video with friends and family and let them know that we've got great stuff going on here in Redmond, Washington. We'll do some more of this again next week at 7 o'clock. Friday night racing here at the Velodrome. You can look for it. As long as it ain't raining, we'll be out here with some racing. Thanks, y'all, for having a great night. Thanks to our officials, our staff, our volunteers behind the scenes, and, of course, our athletes for putting on a great show for all of us today. We look forward to hosting you again for more great racing action here at the Jerry Baker Memorial Velodrome.